Imagine this scenario. You're standing in a damp, dark corridor.
Oh, yeah. The classic setup.
Right. You've just kicked open a heavy wooden door, and the first thing that hits you isn't a goblin arrow or the screech of a bat. It's a smell.
A really bad one.
A heavy, thick, sour odor that it instantly makes your eyes water. You step into the gloom torch raised high. Your heart is just hammering against your ribs. And there in the southwestern corner of the cave, you see it.
A massive bear.
A huge bear, just sprawled out on the floor, fast asleep.
It is the absolute quintessential dungeon setup.
Yeah.
It's practically cinematic. The tension in the room spikes immediately because everyone at the table knows that weaking a sleeping bear in a confined space is usually a one-way ticket to rolling a new character.
Exactly. You freeze, your knuckles turn white on your sword hilt, you start whispering frantically to the wizard, like, do we fireball it? Do we sneak past? Do we... It feels like a life or death decision right out of the gate.
Yeah.
But here is the thing, and this is exactly why we're doing this deep dive today. That bear, it is not what you think it is. Not at all.
And the creature that's actually watching you panic, he is way smarter and honestly way richer than you give him credit for.
That's right. Today we're unpacking one of the most iconic and frankly misunderstood encounters in the history of role-playing games. We are looking at the original text from Module B2, The Keep on the Borderlands.
That class.
The absolute classic. But we aren't trying to map the whole Caves of Chaos today. We are zooming all the way in on Encounter Area E.
The Ogre Cave.
The Ogre Cave.
Which sounds so simple, right? You go in, you fight a big monster, you take his stuff. It's standard operating procedure for an adventurer.
You would think so. But when you actually read the source text, I mean, really read the fine print in Gary Gygax's original notes, this ogre isn't just a combat encounter. He is a masterclass in deception in economics and honestly a little bit of psychological warfare.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Because I love the idea that this isn't just a stat block. It's a lesson in dungeon ecology. Take us back to that door. We smell the sour odor. We see the bear. What is actually happening in that moment? Well, the text is very specific here. It says, in the southwestern part of the cave, there appears to be a huge bear. Keyword being appears.
Because it's a trick.
It is literally a bear skin.
A rug. We are terrified of a rug.
A very convincing rug. The text says the ogre killed a huge bear some time ago, and now uses the skin as a bed heaped over leaves for comfort.
Wow.
So it looks exactly like a sleeping animal in the dim light.
So play this out for a second. If I'm an adventurer and I panic and I decide to use my best spell, my one magic missile or sleep spell for the day on that bear.
You have just incinerated a rug. You've wasted your most valuable daily resource on furniture.
Ha, that is brutal.
And more importantly, you've made a lot of noise. See, the ogre isn't sleeping on the rug. He's sitting in the eastern portion of the lair.
Wait, he's awake?
He is wide awake.
And he's just watching you blow up his bed.
Exactly. He's waiting for you to make a mistake. It is a tactical distraction.
That is devilish. It's practically a prank.
Yeah.
The ogre is essentially pranking us before the fight even starts.
It's more than a prank. It's camouflage. And it tells us something about this ogre's intelligence immediately. He values comfort, he's got a soft bed made of leaves, and he understands how intruders think.
Right. He knows they'll focus on the big, scary animal.
He knows that if you see a bear, you'll tunnel vision on the bear. That buys him the element of surprise.
Which he probably needs, right? I mean, how tough is he, really?
Well, he doesn't need the surprise to win. He needs it to crush you efficiently. The source material notes he has an armor class of 4.
Okay, for the uninitiated or the modern gamer, explain AC4. Because in modern games, higher is better, but in 1979...
lower was better. AC4 is very hard to hit. It's equivalent to wearing heavy chainmail and using a shield.
But he's not wearing metal armor.
No, the text says he has a thick hide, but he is also wearing another thick bear skin as clothing.
So let me get this straight. He is sleeping on a bear, and he is wearing a bear.
He is fully committed to the aesthetic.
That's amazing.
But that layering makes him incredibly tanky. We're talking 4+1 hit dice. That translates to roughly 25 hit points.
Which, again, might sound low to someone playing a modern video game, but in the context of this module...
In this context, a level 1 fighter might have 6 or 8 hit points. A wizard might have 3 or 4.
Oh, wow.
This ogre has 25. And when he hits you, the text says he deals 3 to 12 damage. That's a D10 plus 2.
Ouch. So if he rolls high, or honestly even average, he is one-shotting almost anyone in the party.
Easily. If you walk into that cave and try to fight him fair and square, you are likely going to die.
Yeah.
That is why the rug trick is so mean.
It baits you into starting a fight you absolutely cannot finish.
Right. So the game is subtly telling you don't fight this thing.
Or at least don't fight it on its own terms.
Exactly. But here's where it gets fascinating. If you just look at the combat stats, he's a monster. But if you look at his behavior and his connections to the rest of the Caves of Chaos, he's actually a businessman.
A businessman, an ogre businessman.
Absolutely. This brings us to the second part of our deep dive here, the mercenary economy. This ogre isn't just a random monster living in a hole because the map needed a boss. He is a paid employee.
Okay, paid by whom? Who is putting an ogre on the payroll?
The neighbors. Specifically the goblins in Cave D and the hobgoblins in Cave F.
Really?
The text explicitly states that he has been bought off by orcs and gnolls in the past too. He's an equal opportunity contractor.
So he's a gun for hire, a mercenary.
Exactly. And there is a specific mechanic for this in the text that connects the goblin lair to the ogre cave. It's one of those details that a lot of people miss if they don't cross-reference the room descriptions.
I saw this in the notes, actually. This is the secret door situation.
Yes. So imagine you are attacking the goblins in Cave D. You're winning. The goblins are panicking. They're retreating to their guard room, Area 18.
Okay.
If they get desperate, the text says they cry out a code word.
Briark,
Briark.
which is famous in the lore.
Yeah, a lot of adventurers assume that means we surrender or please don't kill me.
It definitely does not mean that.
No, it really doesn't.
It's a signal. Hey, Rube, essentially. When they yell that two goblin guards rush to a secret door that connects directly to the ogre's cave. Right.
And they toss a heavy sack through the door.
And what's in the sack?
Gold. Specifically 250 gold pieces.
That is a huge amount of cash for a goblin tribe. That's practically their life savings.
It is. But that's the retainer fee. It's their insurance premium. The ogre accepts this payment, comes through the secret door, and attacks the intruders from behind.
That is wild. It makes the dungeon feel so alive. It's not just room A has monsters and room B has monsters. It's a community.
A very dysfunctional, violent community.
Right, but a community where money talks.
And it changes how you have to play. If you attack the goblins, you might suddenly find yourself fighting an ogre you didn't plan for just because they paid their premium.
So money talks in the Caves of Chaos.
Money talks. And that brings us to the most surprising part of this source material. The ogre is willing to listen to your money too.
Wait, really? We can bribe him.
You can. And the module gives very specific odds for it. This isn't just ask your game master and see if they're in a good mood.
Actually, in the rules.
It's hard-coded into the encounter. Which brings us to the art of the deal.
Okay, walk me through the negotiation. Let's say the goblins have shouted, Briark, and the ogre is coming.
The text says that if the adventurers offer a greater fee than the goblins...
So we have to beat the 250 gold pieces.
Exactly. But here's the kicker. The text says he has to be able to see and feel it.
You can't just write him an IOU.
Right, you can't say, we'll pay you later.
Yeah.
You have to hold up a bag of gold that literally looks bigger than the goblin's bag.
Visual proof of...
Visual proof.
Yeah.
If you do that, there's a 90% chance he will take the money and desert the goblins.
90%. That is huge. He has almost zero loyalty to his employers.
Zero loyalty. He's a pure mercenary. He will take the goblins' gold, then take your gold, and then just walk away while you slaughter the goblins. It's cold.
That is brutally efficient. But it gets even better, doesn't it? Let's say you aren't fighting the goblins. Let's say you just walk into his cave and he catches you. You're staring at him. He's staring at you. You don't have to fight him.
You do not.
What is the price for our lives?
Surprisingly low. The text says if you catch him alone and offer a bribe of 20 gold pieces or more in value.
20 gold. That's it. That's the price of a cheap suit of armor.
It's pocket change for an adventurer.
Yeah.
If you offer that he is 90% likely to let you leave unmolested.
Man, playing this game with a wallet seems way safer than playing with a sword. Why doesn't everyone just pay him off?
Well, there is a catch. And this is where the ogre's personality really shines through the mechanics. He's treacherous.
I knew it. There's always a catch.
The text warns the referee explicitly. If he catches the same group again, he will attempt to kill them regardless of past bribes.
So it's a one-time offer.
Right. You can't put him on a monthly retainer like the goblins do.
Yeah.
He takes your money today, laughs at you, and kicks you out.
And if you come back tomorrow...
He figures you're dumb, you're weak, and you probably have more money. You can just take off your corpse.
I love that. It adds so much character. He's greedy, he's fickle, and he's dangerous. It teaches you that you can negotiate with monsters, but you cannot trust them.
Precisely. It's a lesson in nuance. The ogre isn't just an enemy, he's a character with a very specific, very selfish motivation.
But, okay, let's say negotiations break down. Let's say we're feeling brave, or maybe we're just broke and can't pay the 20 gold. We fight him, and by some miracle, we win.
A true miracle.
We're standing over the defeated ogre, we're looting the body. What do we find?
This is one of my absolute favorite parts of the module, because it tells a story purely through inventory management. Let's talk about his treasures, the real ones and the fake ones.
Real and fake. That sounds ominous.
So first you check his belt sack. This is what he carries on his person. It is heavy. It is loaded. We're talking 289 gold pieces, 287 silver, 91 electrum, 303 copper.
That is a heavy belt. That's nearly 1,000 coins.
Plus, and I love this detail, a hard cheese and a keg of brandy valued at 80 gold pieces.
Okay, so he's got his snack, his drink, and his walking around money. The cheese really humanizes him, doesn't it? He packed a lunch.
It does. He's a professional. He gets hungry on the job. But then, inside that same sack, you find another pile of coins. The text describes it as 241 gold pieces, or so it seems.
Uh-oh.
The text reveals these are actually lead coins with a wash of gold.
No way. The ogre is carrying counterfeit money.
He is. Their actual value is 1 copper piece each.
That is hilarious. Wait, we have to analyze this. Why does the ogre have fake gold? Is he making them?
The text doesn't say explicitly, but think about the context. There are a few possibilities. One is that he's a scammer. Maybe he's using these to pay off his own debts. Maybe he visits the orcs and pays them in fake gold.
Or maybe he's giving the goblins change. Oh, thanks for the 250 gold retainer. Here's 10 gold back for your trouble, and it's lead.
That is entirely possible. But there's another possibility that I find even funnier. What if he's the victim?
You think the monsters are scamming him?
Think about it. He demands payment from the goblins. 250 gold pieces every time they scream, "Bree-ark." Do you think the ogre sits there and bites every coin to check the purity?
Oh, man. No, he just weighs the sack.
Exactly. It's the perfect crime. He's too scary to confront, so the goblins just fake the payment and hope he doesn't notice until later.
Or consider this. He knows they're fake, and he's keeping them to spend at the keep.
Oh, yeah.
He's planning to go to the tavern, buy a round of drinks with lead coins, and leave before the bartender notices.
Fool's gold, literally.
Oh.
But regardless of who made them think about what this does to the players, if they just kill the ogre, scoop up the coins, and don't check them.
They're going to be in for a rude awakening when they try to buy armor back in town.
Exactly. They walk into the shop, slap the gold on the counter, and the merchant calls the guards because they're trying to pass counterfeit currency.
Sir, this is lead, but the ogre gave it to me.
It's a trap that triggers after the adventure is over. That is brilliant design.
It really is. But wait, you said real and fake, so where is the real treasure?
See, if you just loot the body, you get the mixed bag of real and fake coins. You get the cheese, you get the brandy, but you miss the best stuff.
Because the real treasure isn't on him.
Correct. The belt sack is the decoy. The real hoard is hidden under a heap of old bones in the southern portion of the cave.
Ew! Of course it is. It's always under the bones.
It's nasty. But the text says that if the players search the mess of bones, they find the magic items.
Nice.
We're talking 6 magic arrows that are +1, a potion of invisibility, and a magic scroll containing 2 cleric spells. Cure light wounds and hold person.
Oh, that is the good stuff. A potion of invisibility alone is a game changer at low levels. That's your get-out-of-jail-free card.
And hold person. That spell paralyzes a humanoid opponent. That's incredibly powerful.
And notice the contrast here. The ogre carries the heavy, flashy coins, some of which are fake. He wears the big bear skin to look scary. But the lightweight, subtle, incredibly powerful magic items, he keeps those hidden under the trash.
So the lesson is always search the room.
Always search the room.
Combat gives you experience points, but curiosity gives you the loot. The module explicitly rewards the players who are willing to dig through the gross parts of the dungeon.
I really like how this encounter is structured. It feels like every part of it is designed to teach a new player something about how to play the game properly.
That's the brilliance of Module B2. Remember, this was written in 1979 as an instructional module. It was in the box set. It was designed to teach people how to play.
So let's recap those lessons. What is the curriculum of the Ogre Cave?
First, the bear skin. That teaches observation. Don't trust your first glance. Don't waste resources on scenery.
Right. Lesson 2 is the Bree-ark shout.
That teaches ecology. The dungeon is a network. If you poke the goblins, the ogre wakes up. Actions have consequences.
Lesson 3, the bribery.
That teaches negotiation. You don't have to kill everything. A smart player uses their wallet as a weapon. 20 gold pieces is cheaper than a resurrection spell.
And finally, the counterfeit hoard.
That teaches skepticism and thoroughness. Check your loot. Search the bones. The best rewards aren't always in the obvious chest.
It's basically a crash course in being an adventurer wrapped up in one smelly cave.
Precisely. And the ogre himself is such a perfect adversary for this. He's physically imposing, so he's scary. But he's motivated by greed, which makes him predictable if you're smart enough to exploit it.
I want to go back to the counterfeit coins for a second, because I just can't get over it. It implies this ogre has a hobby. Like, I just picture him sitting there with a little paintbrush and a pot of gold wash, carefully painting lead coins by torchlight while eating his hard cheese.
It's a fantastic image. It makes him feel like a person, not just a monster. He has downtime. He has schemes. He's trying to get ahead in a tough world.
He's a hustler.
He really is. He knows the value of things. He knows the value of brandy. He knows the value of a +1 armor class bearskin. He knows that 20 gold pieces is enough to buy a nice dinner, so he'll let you go for that price.
You know, it really changes the vibe of the classic dungeon crawl. We usually think of it as kicking down doors and slaying beasts, but this feels more like a heist, or a really tense negotiation in a hostile environment.
It is. And that's what makes the old school style of play so interesting to revisit. It wasn't always about balance. It was about wits. If you walk into that cave at level 1 and just try to fight an ogre with 25 hit points and a 3 to 12 damage swing,
You're going to die. You are going to be a smear on the wall.
the game expects you to look at the situation and say, I can't beat him physically. Can I trick him? Can I buy him? Can I sneak past while he's distracted?
Except he's not asleep. He's watching you look at the rug.
Exactly. So you have to engage with the world, not just the numbers on your sheet.
I think my favorite takeaway is the vulnerability of the ogre to a better offer. It completely undermines the idea that monsters are just mindless killing machines. He's a mercenary. He has a price.
And that price is 90% likely to make him switch sides. Think about that. You can essentially hire an ogre tank for your party for the low cost of more than 250 gold.
Suddenly, the dungeon gets a lot easier if you have an ogre smashing the doors for you.
Until you run out of money. Or until he decides to eat you anyway.
Right, the treachery. Never forget the treachery.
Never trust an ogre, even a well-dressed one.
So let's wrap this up. We've gone deep into KV. We've smelled the sour odor. We've poked the bare rug, and we've counted the fake coins.
And hopefully we've survived.
Hopefully. It's fascinating how much detail is packed into just a few paragraphs of text in this module. It's dense.
It's dense, but it's open-ended. It gives the referee tools, not a script. It says, here is a greedy ogre with fake coins and a bear rug. Go. And whatever happens at the table is up to you.
And that's the magic of it. Before we sign off, though, I have one final thought that's been bugging me about the lead coins.
What's that?
We talked about the ogre scamming the goblins, or the goblins scamming the ogre.
Right, the local economy of the caves.
Yeah. But let's zoom out. These monsters raid the civilized lands. They ambush caravans.
True.
What if the ogre didn't make the fake coins? And what if the goblins didn't make them? What if that lead coin came from a merchant back at the keep?
Oh, that is interesting.
Think about it. What if there is some savvy, unethical trader in the safe zone who is minting fake gold and letting it filter out into the chaos? Maybe to destabilize the monster economy. Or maybe just to scam the monsters when they try to buy supplies through intermediaries.
That is a sinister idea. Economic warfare from the good guys. Or just a human who is as greedy as the ogre.
It makes you wonder who the real monsters are on the Borderlands. Was the ogre just the final victim of a pyramid scheme started by a human?
Now that would be a plot twist for your next campaign.
Keep those dice rolling and remember to check for secret doors when you hear Briark.
And always check the bones.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.